This is Soul Chronicles, and I'm your host, C. Boyd Motley. This is episode 4 in the series. Welcome and welcome back. Hope you're doing all right. Today I want to talk about how people will talk. I know I kind of touched on this a little bit in previous podcasts where I was saying that I had this people-pleasing mindset, and I was so overly concerned and self-conscious about what people were going to say, how they're going to respond, what they're going to think of me with respect to content creation. And as an actor, I had to come to the realization. I was asking myself, well, why I can get in front of a camera, read a script, become another character, and bring those words to life with no problem. But when it comes to being myself, I feel hindered. And I realized that for the obvious reason that I wasn't playing me. I was taking elements of my experience and applying it to a character, but it was not me I was playing. In this particular space, in content creation, more often than not, you are bearing your soul, being yourself in front of millions of people potentially. And with that comes, again, a fear of being naked because we all want to put our best self forward. We all want to be liked. No one goes out, not many go out anyway. There are some strangers, but most people don't go out with the intention of not being liked. We all want to be pleasing visually, verbally. And when you put yourself out there like I'm doing with this podcast, there are going to be people that are going to have their opinions, and I've had to realize that in content creation. It's not an easy pill to swallow, but if you're going to be in this space, you have to realize that you're asking people to judge because you're putting yourself in a place where they can consume your content and make choices and have opinions about that. There's an old saying that opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and everyone thinks everyone else's stinks. I always thought that was kind of funny. It's okay to want to be liked. Let me be clear on that. I'm not saying you should just become this very apathetic person. What I am saying is recognize that if you allow the opinions of others to govern your actions or inaction, you are giving away your agency and power over your life. If you get one thing from this podcast, that's what I want you to walk away from with. Knowing that and recognizing the times when you give away your power to other people because you are worried about what they're going to think, what they're going to say, how they're going to feel. Now, let me be clear. I'm not giving you carte blanche to be an asshole. I'm not saying you should go out here and just intentionally I'm going to do me, live my best life, and at no matter what the cost and whoever gets hurt, so be it. I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying recognize that there are many of occasions that you have self-censored because you were worried about how something might come across or how somebody might feel. And that you should recognize that you're not going to please everybody. Everything you say isn't going to be PC or kosher or whatever, what have you. But you can have conversations, you can have dialogue and experiences and be true to yourself in those without being offensive. But when you spend all your time trying to hopscotch, walk on eggshells, you are going to lose yourself. I was married and divorced twice. And in both of those marriages, I was trying to be what I thought my wives at the times wanted from a husband and a mate. I wasn't being true to myself because, quite frankly, I didn't know how to be a husband or a father at those times. So I was learning as I went along, which is a terrible thing, but it's part of the process of growing up and being an adult. And in hindsight, I recognize how much of myself was not present in those experiences because I was so busy trying to figure out what they needed. It wasn't until after my second marriage that I realized, and of course, going through therapy, I realized the importance of making sure that whatever I was doing was going to make me happy first and not worry about making someone else happy before me or at my expense. I also found that worrying about what people think about whatever I'm doing is a waste of energy because most people don't care, truth be told. They're not paying attention. They're not worrying about you because here's the thing. I thought about this the other week. People talk about the multiverse being a thing, right? And I would argue that we are in the multiverse right now. Hear me out. Before you click off, hear me out. This planet is populated with 7 billion mini universes. We all are the center of our own universe. We all our own main character for our story. Everyone else around us are just NPCs, non-playable characters for those who aren't initiated. And most of us are only concerned with what's going on with us. So when you think people are watching or judging and all that, a lot of it is just passing judgments because they see you for a moment. There aren't many that are spending much time worrying about you. And even if they are, their opinions are their opinions. We all have opinions. If you sit back and ask yourself the question and think about it, how often have you judged or been quick to judge? We talk all the time. We got gossip or the tea, as they say. We do it all the time. So why are you surprised that it happens coming your way? But the same way your words may have no effect on the person you're talking about, theirs shouldn't have much about you either. Another realization I came to was that people are going to talk about you whether you do something or you don't do something. People are going to talk about you after you're gone. There's folks still talking about folks that are long dead and they can't defend themselves. But guess what? Once I realized that that's a fact, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with the negativity that you're going to get inevitably when you deal with content creation or just dealing with life in general. People will always have something to say, but how you let it affect you, that's your power. That's how you have agency over your life. Going forward, make sure you think about that when you overhear something or someone brings something to you that somebody said about you. Just think to yourself, all right, that's great feedback. I appreciate it in your head, of course, and move on from it. Be true to yourself and recognize that no matter what you do, good or bad, folk are going to talk about you. Soul Chronicles.